Hey guys, this is chasebt694 playing a little Twilight struggle. We're playing today against Saint Ronnie. So kind of a normal game, bidding for sides. We're waiting for his bid to come in. I bid one for the U.S. I've been in a little role where I've been, playing as the U.S. a good bit. So I don't mind bidding for one and playing as them. A lot of times somebody will bid two, and you'll get to play with plus two. So we'll see what comes on, what happens here with the bid. Yep. We're going to play as US. We'll have two extra influence. We have Middle East scoring, so we'll probably throw four into Italy and only leave two in Iran. So, kind of looking at the hand, we do have defectors, and we have Red Scare. Red Scare is always a great play, but we don't have another 3-out card, so it's like kind of our big card to kind of, if we have to have it, also protects against blockade. Plus, feel like starting off with the Middle East scoring, catch those four early points right out of the gate, sometimes a good play. Even more so here since we don't have a whole lot of ops. So that's definitely what we're going to do here. So kind of get started in the right direction and kind of go from there. Definitely the card we don't want to play that will either space or keep over to next hand's decall. All right. So he headlines Europe, which is good. That means he's probably not going in for the opening coup. So he didn't play a socialist government in the coup. Italy, kind of fight for that. So kind of our front here is definitely going to be in Asia. So he plays duck and cover, and he goes ahead and plays his influence there. We get the one extra point from duck and cover. So now we have a decision. So, we could coup, but then if he's got Asia, he goes ahead and scores it. Or we can play some influence. Or we could try to coup him out of Afghanistan. Was always an option, but we don't really have huge cards here, so we're gonna kind of place. Hold on, do that again. So I want to place, one op in Iraq just to kind of keep me a foothold in the Middle East, and then we're gonna place one down in Southeast Asia, so that kind of stops the immediate threat of him scoring, Asia scoring. So reason went ahead and played Fidel. If he's got CA, he has to worry about that. So that's something that he needs to have to worry about addressing. So we'll kind of see if something he has to deal with. So all right, interesting. So he goes ahead and takes South Korea with the card, gives us East European unrest. So we'll take it out of every country we can. Something he can repair. He already played Europe, so he's not worrying about that front right now. We do have the Korean War card, so don't really have to worry about losing it at this point. We do give him military ops, but at this round one, I don't think it should be a problem. We'll go ahead and trigger it. I hope he doesn't actually win, get the 2 extra victory points. And we're going to just go ahead in Afghanistan. We're going to put both of them in there. Stops the threat, but it also kind of gives us an opportunity. Let's say he decided, okay, address some of these issues. I got a scorecard. Let me go ahead and coup and attempt to block all of his, access to a lot of the East Asia deal. So we're in there, kind of a tick mark. He could coup us out of Afghanistan, but quite honestly, we'd love to kind of get in a coup war here, on non-battleground in turn one. Especially in a round where we don't have a whole lot of ops. All right. So he gives us Formosan. So we'll see if that can help us out here. So once again, just kind of, if he's got the scoring card, not letting him play it right away. Kind of stringing this as long as we can to see what we can do. Okay. So we do have Formosan. we're going to place one there, and then we might go ahead and just kind of throw an extra one in the Middle East here. Make it a little tougher for him to coup us out of there and kind of our landlocked to that East Asia. He doesn't have, at least I'm assuming he doesn't have the the Indian war card, or he wouldn't have been as ready to do it, so he overprotects there. Okay, so go ahead and take Taiwan. It's a victory point at this point, since he played Formosan. So, especially since he's played like he had the China card to some degree. So, I mean, the Asia card. So, right now he'd score it for 1, but he does not. So, he's going to coup. All right. So, we have a little bit of a problem here. So, our, kind of an opportunity. So, right now, if we don't coup something, he wins 4 victory points and it goes back to 5. We play, we'd really love us to place influence, but we almost have to coup. So with the big off card, we went ahead and took the gamble. Maybe the play there is to definitely try to coup him out of Southeast Asia. So that way he doesn't have the opportunity. But I'm hoping that just the pace of this will give us an opportunity to march up into the Southeast Asia before him. But with that coup, it also kind of gives us the momentum for East Asia. West Asia. Get my East and West backwards. So other things, we did get D-stall. We held D-call. So we'll at least keep those cards from getting played in the early war. If he's got blockade, both of those are going to go back into the redraw. Besides that, we've got some decent ops. We have Marshall Plan, we have Nuclear Test Ban, we have those cards. We're going to headline Asia because the main ways he'd get influence is decall and destall into Asia. If he plays Vietnam or revolts, that puts him 1, 2, 3, 4 countries. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 countries. So it would stay the same. Nothing would happen. And it's a good thing we did that because he plays Cambridge. He gets to throw an extra tick mark somewhere, and then he's, it makes it a whole lot tougher. So he goes into India with that one op. And there's a thorn in our side. So he comes with the coup. The rare turn 2 coup of Italy. So we get lucky. He rolls a 1. If you guys watch many of my games, those are the rolls I typically make. So that was a huge benefit, especially since just the way that game went. So since we have access to East Asia, I might go ahead and gamble here and coup to drop it down so that way we can go ahead and just, move on with the game besides our. So we're going to coup, make sure we have some military ops. We'll roll a 2, and it's dropped down. And then now we can go ahead and go into Pakistan or wherever. So hopefully it goes ahead and coups us here and knocks us out. That way we can move up into Southeast Asia. All right. Okay. So what to do? So everything's been scored. We're going to go ahead and place one in Costa Rica, just that way if he chooses that as a coup, we'll be all right. And then we're going to place one into Iraq just to make it be a little tougher for him to he's got to commit a 4-up card just to retake that country. So most likely he doesn't bother. He goes into Saudi Arabia or something to that effect. So keeps Japan out in a moment, and he goes into Saudi Arabia, goes ahead and continues his march into Southeast Asia. So go ahead and space decall. catch a victory point. We're back even on the space race. So we're gonna hopefully hold D-stall to turn 3. But if he blockades, we'll have to get rid of it through blockade. So he's successful. Go ahead and play CIA, keep it in the deck. Kind of Asia is a race right now. So right now, if we can just get, complete India, and so there is blockade. All right, we were prepared. All right, and then we played. So we went and took the countries we needed into Asia, and then we played that last 2 ops into the Middle East just in case we got the scoring card here. We'd score it for, 4 quick points. We did not. It would have been a little more effective play if we would have had a non-battleground, but that's neither here nor there. Looking at this hand, we're playing containment. Looking at the ops, it gives us, a lot of extra ops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra ops, depending on how we play this. So seems like a round that would be worth it. Seems like a pretty pivotal turn 3, the way turns 1 and turn 2. Seems like we're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit when it comes to getting our ops out. We still have Europe is completely undecided. Nobody's throwing any ops there. Middle East is wide open. Asia's been a race, but we hadn't had a lot of ops, but we're still in good position in Asia. And also, we'd like to kind of have a chance to start exploring into the, the mid-war continents. So we are in danger because the DEFCON is at 4 that he can go into Asia and attempt to coup Pakistan. We also have opportunity right now at turn 4. He coups something, we get to coup it back, and we've got some 4-op cards. The other thing we'd like to do this round is, we definitely like to go ahead and shore up Europe. Let's go ahead and get into Europe. Of course, he plays De Gaulle. So it'll be interesting here. So, is this going to give us an opportunity to coup Thailand? So, if he plays and goes ahead and takes France, gives us a chance to coup, unless he's got duck and cover, which at this point, that'd give us 2 victory points. So we'll see how he plays it. So hopefully we'll get a chance to coup here. Or, we do have Truman, so hopefully we can, if he doesn't, we can slam some points in there and then get him out. Maybe he just did this as an opportunity to get into Algeria. But if that was the case, he probably would have headlined it. So he does have duck and cover. We do get 2 victory points. All right. All right. Since he played duck and cover, it almost seems like we have to take the opening coup and have an opportunity to 2 victory points. It seems like we almost have to make that opportunity. So that's what we do. We're actually, we're successful. We knock him out of a country. We drained a battleground. If he's got Asia scoring, I think he plays it now. So we'll see. We also kind of would like to, he went ahead and made a big effort when DEFCON was at 4, giving up a coup opportunity to take France. So he might have Europe scoring here. So if he does, maybe we can get, just get into Spain, protect Italy for a future brush war, things of that nature. So he doesn't play. Vietnam. He plays into. All right. So we're going to go ahead and play into Egypt in case he redrew Nasser. That way if he plays it, there's already one up there. He can't completely take the country and shut us out of Libya. So it's the reason why we played there. If he's got Middle East scoring, so be it. He's got it. We still score 2 points. Um, but I felt like going into Spain was huge. Maybe the play there is to play all four into the Middle East, play two in Libya, two in Jordan, then make sure you have domination there. So that might have been the better play. Um, okay. So we go ahead and take um, Japan to give us domination in Asia. Um, and I'm pretty sure even if he takes Vietnam here, we're still have the country count. Um, so we're good there. So we're good in Asia at the moment. Um, we do need a place two in Jordan. Um, Part of the also, with this overprotection of France, we did have Truman, so maybe we could have set up a, um, slam some ops in there and take it off, but it's a little tougher. Um, it's kind of one of those. If we can just keep the region even, I think I'm happy in Europe, especially since we have some late war cars late, and maybe can even flip that tide. So not as worried there. If we can get Asia, keep our the pedal on the metal in the Middle East, and then so far he hasn't really been able to get too much of a foothold into the mid-war continents. So, um, kind of see here. Might right now take advantage of my containment, get the most out of Truman and special relationships. Uh, Instead of being 3 ops, it ends up being 6 ops. Our 5 ops, bad counter, almost doubles it. So, and especially at this point with the fragility of Europe, might hold on to Tommy Khan just because it's gives him access where maybe he could get a 2 op country really cheap. So, um, so thinking about our next 2 plays, I would on my action round 6 play like to go into Colombia. Oh, don't do it! Don't do it! Whew, so close. Um, so he does get his military ops. That's disappointing. All right. So we go ahead and take South Africa just to make sure we have a presence there, kind of anchor us down. We'd like to move on up also. We'll kind of play that by here in a second. And then we still have the same situation in the Middle East where we're still not uh, battling yet for. I mean, we've got 3-1, but we don't have domination. He would have already played that card if he would have had Middle East or Asia. I think he would have already seen those cards out of the deck at this point. So we might need to still play the 2 ops into Jordan to make sure that we can have. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna place 2 in Jordan, 1 in Colombia. All right, see what we've got. So, uh, we draw Lone Gunman. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity at some point to get rid of that little guy. We will bear you, so we definitely have to space that. So we have to play Comic Con. We have to play Warsaw, and then everything else is fine. Um, One Saw Step. Yasuri, Brush War, Independent Reds, Puppet Government. So right now, I think I'm going to hold on to Brush War just to see kind of the direction of where he attacks, and it'll kind of give us an idea of what we need to do. Um, and then what we might do is we might play Puppet Governments, and then that will give us opportunity to kind of, where does he attack? So if you see, we throw some stuff in South America, we throw some stuff in Africa, and suddenly he coups South America. Well, probably he's had a South American scorecard. That's what he's most worried about. If he goes after Africa, and you kind of feel like, well, he's probably got Africa, and it kind of gives us direction, hopefully, to be able to know which way to attack. We could play We Will Bury You, and then if he's trying to drop the DEFCON in the headline phase because of our Columbia play, then maybe we can catch him. But I don't think that would happen. And then, most likely the way you would want to do that, an ideal way is, Junta. So, all right. So he's going after the Middle East. So we're going to go ahead and throw one in Chile. He's not going to coup us out of there. We're going to throw one in Africa, but we're going to go in the spot where if he does coup there, he can't take a second battleground. And then, just in case, he's going to play Nasser and then coup Egypt to be able to take us out and then go west of Libya. We're going to place one there just to kind of protect us a little bit. Maybe the other play here, I plan to go into Brazil. But we're now going to go into Libya. So, and then now kind of the moment is to see how he counters here. All right, so he's cooing, and he goes into Africa. So, kind of makes you think Africa might be one of the hotbeds. We're going to play Warsaw. We've got to finish our play into South America. And then we go ahead and take Libya. So he can take Egypt, but one thing with Egypt is he's always worried about, the card that takes everything out of Egypt. It's not draw blank. So hopefully on our next play too, we can go ahead and move forward up into Africa, because he could definitely really spread out, and then I don't think he could do that. So right now our priority is Greece with 2 ops because he's going to give him access there. I'm assuming Warsaw, but also to spread our influence in South America and Central America too. So if he's got those scoring cards, we've got access. We want to keep him out of it. So 4 ops goes into Greece, and all right. So we played it. Maybe we should have went ahead and gone into Greece. So we counter to his counter. We do have independent reds. So, if he decides to go ahead and take the quick 2 op, let me grab this, battleground here, then maybe we can. So we'll play independent reds here. And if he's got Europe, maybe that's the thing that kind of keeps him from worrying about it. Because he plays Europe. So he spaces. So I got two questions here. Do we go ahead and take the tempo and take one of these countries in Europe, get ahead of the game? We go ahead and coup because we know. All right. So we kind of spread it out. We needed to go ahead and take it based off of his earlier play in Africa. Kind of felt like Africa might have that scoring card, but we'll see what happens there. We definitely need to spread out South America, and then tempo wise, by placing that extra influence in Europe, we can throw, Comic Con or whatever, and kind of grab another country. Which, granted, it would be awful to have to play that. Oh, ABM treaty. Okay. So that's why we held Brush War for this kind of moment. So now we're going to play it right back there. And we get military ops. Nice, we needed that. So now we've got two plays. We have to play Comic Con and we have to space. So would like to be able to space first and then play Comic Con. Independent Reds is still in the deck, so he has to be a little worried about that, I would think. Not Independent Reds, but Truman. We'll give him St. Ronnie this. His play, go ahead and push domination in Europe. Whether or not he has Europe scoring card, has slowed us down into South America. So ideally, this turn we would have definitely have played in South America. So, a lot of times, perfect play. You don't have access into a region like South America. You didn't draw junta. You didn't, really make a threat in another part of the battlefield to make the other person respond. And that's exactly what happened here. And really, honestly, maybe we should have, socialist government. So let's see what he does. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and respond, because at this point, if he's got the scoring card, he's got to play it next turn. So, and then we originally went to South America. And then I switched it to Zaire because he did play Africa like he has that scoring card. So maybe he still had that and just kind of slowed the roll of, so if he does have that scorecard, I wanted to make sure that we got the one extra victory point. So, also for turn 7, since we're not going to be able to play a card this next turn, if he would have played a card, one of the Africa cards, either one, he could headline that card and then, be able to get in the Zaire on his next turn. Especially if, we drop the DEFCON or something to that degree. So, all right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and overprotect our battlegrounds and the UK. And then we're going to kind of spread out here a little bit. And then we have to space this card. So at least we're successful when we get back even on the space race. We do have Europe, and we have Asia. Asia we score, so that's huge. And then we have Europe, so we have to tempo a little bit to be able to kind of grab those battlegrounds back. Let's double check to see duck and covers in the discard. It is, so we can play Missile Envy. Um, the other real option there is Sadat expels the Soviets, which we were trying to think of a minute ago, or lead off with one of the scoring cards, which we're not leading off with Europe. Asia's tricky if he's got, decall or, I mean, mainly decall. If he headlined that, then that would take our domination away. So there's no real reason to really press there. So we'll definitely not do that. So Missile Envy, we should be safe to play it. Um, and then looking at other cards, we still have Lone Gunman, so hopefully we can have a chance to get rid of that. Then we have D-Stall. So Space D-Stall, we're going to play Flower Power, play Sadat as the event, Alliance for Progress. We would like to play this card for the event and hopefully get some victory points. But when you're really looking, we're not playing D-Stall. We've got 2 scoring cards. We've got an event Sadat that we're playing, 1 op. So we really need the ops. So we will hope to be able to play that for an event, but we're probably gonna have to play it for the ops. He does play decall, so thank goodness we didn't play Asia scoring. And then depending on what he does here, maybe Missile Envy helps us out a little bit, and gives us an opportunity to repair damage or go ahead and coup to start off with to kind of keep him from cooing. So we'll see how he plays this. Does he play it all in Africa? Does he leave Southeast Asia alone? Does he try to, hopefully he doesn't try to flip one of our little countries over there. So, because that is a 7-8 stalemate at the moment. So we get NORAD, which, with my luck, he probably has. We'll immediately go into a. All right, and he's cooing. And he rolls a 6. All right, we do get NORAD, and so we get to add an op. So at this point, let's see what we do here. We've got to place South America, Brazil, Libya, and our non-battleground in Asia. And then also we could play some of those ops up into Europe. So all right. And then we know we need to get a non-battleground, but we might go up and get the being next to his battleground to catch an extra victory point. And then, we'll go ahead and play. All right. Yeah. And as I see it now, we redid that like 3 times, and somehow the last time we did it, we forgot to place our extra influence in Libya. So that was a mistake. Hopefully, we can play Summit for 1 point next and take it as he addresses anything else. That was ridiculous. I cannot believe I just did that. So go ahead and play this for the event. Flips back to us. But if we go ahead and just this is annoying. Hopefully right now, he doesn't hit us with a Muslim revolution because we just don't have the ops to fight it back. But hopefully we can even up Europe. Would love to go ahead and hopefully score Asia. I would love to go ahead and space D-stall. We've got so much we have to do that doesn't throw any ops out there. So, uh, interesting hand. See how it goes. Plus, we still have Lone Gunman. Oh, it plays Central America. So, go ahead and score Asia. We get it for 6. We're up to 9. Hopefully, we can even up Europe. So he spaces. Don't win. Don't win. Don't win. He wins. And go ahead and play Summit. One opper. Now we can play Europe for even. He plays a 3 ops. So we could play this and get the extra victory point. I said that's a really bad idea. Cause let's double check to see if Romania has been played. Because if it had been played for 1 ops, and he hasn't now because we still have D-stall. So yeah, that's a bad idea. And at this point, we don't have another op to share to Europe, so hopefully we can score Europe here. He doesn't, if he's got Romania and plays it, bam, whatever, he scores it. Yeah, but at least has to have another 3 ops. And really, if he doesn't have Romania, how willing are you to place 3 ops into Romania when there's a card that gives it to you for free? So I think anywhere else he has to play 4 to take a country outright. Ooh. And we get the 2 victory points here, which helps since we're not going to get military ops. So we'll go ahead and we're able to get out of Europe for even. But man, did that spend a ton of ops to be able to do that. Pretty much every single one of our ops for this turn went there. And then he's going to place influence here. Go ahead and take Israel. It's not the end of the world. We're going to go ahead and space. We're successful, so he doesn't get to see our headline, which is huge. And then we've got Southeast Asia, which is no good. We have Middle East, which is even, but it's funky. Muslim Revolution is still out there. We do have OS Founded, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad play, kind of help us in South America, but we're going to hold on to it. We're going to play CIA. Sometimes we'd like to leave this in the deck, but we will play as fit. Would love to play Middle East scoring right here, but it's kind of late. I'm kind of hoping to be able to Red Scare. Hoping he plays JFK. All right, so let's look what he's got. He's got South America. Okay. He's got Asnod. Yes, hopefully he plays that. Shuttle Diplomacy. Things are really close to a whole lot of regions, so maybe he doesn't want to play that. So we just want a coup. We're gonna go ahead and coup. We roll a 6. We still don't knock him out, but we do roll a 6. So we can throw, or at least threatening there. We can flip that spot. And then most likely here, he knows that we have South America, so he's going to coup Colombia. Uh, we don't have a lot of ops because we got red scared. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to go ahead and play um, and catch one extra victory point in South America, and then be able to. Then we'll go ahead and score South America, and then we'll be able to play Middle East before you can play Muslim Revolution and really flip that area. So, um, so once again, kind of one of the things we talked about the last couple of rounds, where we really maybe should have passed on Europe. Said, all right, if you get those 5 points, you get it. We've got to make sure we lock down South America, because here we are. We're going to score. We're going to score for 3 points. 3 points is what we'll end up scoring this, and we're going to give up a point with Cultural Revolution, so which is a point that we'd give up anyway. So he coups. He rolls a 2. We could go ahead and coup back. Play Cultural Revolution and make a big coup. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right play or not. So, but part of this is getting out of Middle East before he plays Muslim Revolution. So we score it for 3. Go ahead and get out of Middle East scoring. And then what we're really hoping is that he plays JFK and we can get out of Long Gunman, preferably Southeast Asia too. He might not want to play. Nixon plays the China card and give us the China card. So, tempted to go ahead and play nuclear subs here, and gives us an opportunity to kind of be a little aggressive in Africa. We don't have a whole lot of ops, but we can make the most out of cooing a little one-opper like Zaire, kind of hopefully solidify that little Africa little spot. It'll be interesting what he does here. All right. Well, pretty smart play. We're under red scare, so it would take a 4-op card just to take it back, and we don't have one of those. We're gonna take OS, found it. We're gonna coup with it. So anything but a 1, and so anyway, that's bad. So the idea there was hopefully to solidify that little spot. Knowing we're going to lose South Africa, I didn't really have I could throw one op in there, but then there was no way to really. He plays shuttle diplomacy, which I think is going to help us in the Middle East. Bam. So we're going to coup again, this time with Alan Day. So going to give him some presents over there in South America. But what hopefully we can do is we can play Dresden and he spaces JFK. At least he misses out on the 3 point. So we go ahead and lose hope. Go ahead and play Southeast Asia. Give him the 4 victory points. And then, depending on his last play, we either coup with Dresden or we go in and set up for the realignment at South America. So go into Peru and hopefully realign. That's what we're hoping for. Cards we haven't seen going into turn 7. Haven't seen Junta, so we have to worry about that a little bit. I don't think we've seen Liberation Theology either, unless I spaced it earlier. But so we're worried about that a little bit. Places 2, we would have possibly went in and just taken. Boom. All right, we still have Long Gunman. That would have been nice to have been able to get rid of it, but oh well. So there's Liberation Theology and Junta. So we got both of those. We did get Quagmire as well. So looking at our hand is Space Quagmire. We're gonna probably have to play Liberation Theology. We're gonna have to play Romania because we still have to hold Lone Gunman. Headline wise, we could play Junta, coup. But kind of my thought process here is Africa's a scoring card that hasn't been played. That is out. So we know that's going to happen. If he decides to try to play Africa as a headline because he's winning, we could take that away and flip it from his domination to our domination. Plus, it's going to switch some of the play a little bit, so it's going to be what does he do? Does he coup on the Africa? We know he wants to coup in Africa. So if he coups out of a spot, then maybe we can flip another spot. So, for example, we're going to put one in Algeria. And if he coups out of Zaire, we can flip Algeria at least. So that's kind of my thought process here. And then with Junta, we can still hold Junta, and then hopefully what we can do is we can then play that for the event. We put our 2 into Chile, and then we use our realignment at a +2, and that should most likely get him out. We've got a couple one-uppers. The Panama Canal, we might play that to kind of protect and solidify the region a little bit. We do play Romania. We're going to have to play it, but that does give him domination in Europe. So we do need to be cognizant of that. Europe has been really weird. I really hate throwing a lot of influence into Europe in this game. I've thrown more than I hardly ever play. And it probably was the wrong mistake since the scorecard wasn't out, and we really needed to take care of South America. We could have solidified South America and Central America, and we haven't done either. And that's really a testament to St. Ronnie playing well. Not having the opportunity to get to a region and then just really attacking another region on the board to keep us distracted. And it worked. So, playing South Africa unrest, I'm assuming this is to, we're still going to play one there just to keep it from being super protected. And we're set up for a realignment, In an ideal world, we would have had another really solid 3-up card. And the way, hopefully, we could have got to the point where we could have cooed and played arms race for the 3 points. Would have headlined Junta if it would have helped us in that aspect to be able to get those victory points, but you don't get military ops when you use Junta. Also, if you note, the reshuffle did not happen turn 7. Oh, nice. All right. So we get a still flip. Forgot about the NORAD point. Probably should have tried to set that up. But anyway, so we have kept the pedal on the metal on Africa. So he's cooing. Sahara States. He rolls a big number, so it's kind of, doesn't make me feel good about the counter coup. But our biggest problem is he's setting up a realignment. We're at a -1 on the reroll, on the roll, and we have no way to get back in. So we're going to place 2 influence. Now it evens up our roll if he tried to realign us out, and also gave us opportunity to get back in. So he spaces Bear Trap, and he misses. And we're going to go ahead and play Junta, before he tried to take that back. That way we can be at a +2 versus just a +1. So he loses 2. We just need now we're at a +3. And with a +3, we don't get anything out. That's almost ridiculous. So gets you an intervention, and we could have used those 2 victory points for sure, or the China card for that matter, which would have been nice, especially holding Lone Gunman. So we've got 3 cards that we can play. We've got Liberation Theology, Panama Canal, and Romanian Abduction. Placing 1 ops anywhere doesn't help us. Go ahead and take that, so that way we can be done worrying about that. And I'm assuming he plays Africa now. At least we catch the 1 victory point. Part of me almost considering playing Quagmire for the event, and then praying we can get out of Liberation Theology. But probably the play is just to not put ourselves under that kind of risk, especially since we have NORAD. That's too big of a, down the stretch here. That little one extra op, it can be a advantage down the stretch here. So we get one extra victory point, so we're at 9. Let's see if we can get space and get this +3. Come on, man. Oh, that would have been nice to be at that +12. So down to plays for the event. Go ahead and play Liberation Theology, and I think what we're going to do here is try to realign them out. In hindsight, now that I see that we're at +6, and I have war games, I'm an idiot. Probably should have cooed there. So that would have kept us at 8, and with a chance to win the game. So right now, we're gonna play John Paul to kind of throw some, especially since we also have Solidarity. So we'll go ahead and headline this card. And then looking at us, could probably space Reformer, hopefully get those 3 points. We're not in Cuba, so we don't have to worry about Ortega. And then hopefully we can play war games here and win this game. So that's what we're hoping for. Oh no. Man, why could that have not taken Long Gunman? All right. So we're in a pickle. So what we need to have happen here is we have to win our roll for So where to play this? So we're gonna. So we really need to go ahead and space. But kind of what I was thinking is, let's see if we can play this card. All right, and then he counters it. Hopefully, it's something that gives us 1 point. Play war games and we can win. Assuming then if not, he repairs it. We'll go ahead and space. Hopefully, win our space roll and then play war games. That is our thought process. Oh, it is a shame he decided to space that. If he plays that, because it's 4 ops, there's only 1 victory point. Surely he plays that. That would have we would have played war games and we would have won. Tempo wise here, just in case we somehow are able to get out of this without, he already spaced, so if he, so it's going to come down to this roll. For the game. I mean, essentially, it's going to be a space race roll, which we had a 50-50 shot last time. We missed it, which we would have won. If he would have played a big 4-op card for 1 victory point, we would have won. So here is the play for the game. Come on, dice. Give me a 1. Roll to 6. We're going to lose. But it is Twilight Struggle. You never know. You play it to the end. Maybe there's something that happens that lets us get out of this situation. Don't know what it would be, except for he needs to throw something that gives us a victory point. Uh, so it keeps us from being able to coup. He knows the score. Um, and previous the beginning of play deck, we could have went ahead and played war games for the draw, and it would have said U.S. wins on a draw. But it's kind of cheap, So it's do we play this, for a draw in our hearts? No, we don't. So also the other thing is the we didn't coup at the end of that last turn with liberation theology, especially since it didn't work. Um, takes us out of Angola. Things are getting hairy. Um, yeah, one of those games. We got Long Gum in turn 4, and not once did we have an opportunity to get rid of it. Uh, so here is a perfect game where if you just could got my military ops with the opportunity, we would have won this game. But we gave up 2 victory points, and so therefore at the end just didn't work out. Plus, or if we just won the last 2 space race rolls, we win this game. Dang, he's hitting everything now. It's like he's just putting on the show. It doesn't even matter anymore. Um, so we're gonna go ahead, I guess, and play some influence in Central America just in case he's got it. Oh, except he doesn't because there wasn't a reroll and there's no scoring cards out. But we'll go ahead and take it. That way we have it. I go ahead and throw the one down to Argentina because there is the card that would let him flip Argentina. And then we pray that something really weird happens and we don't have to play Long Gunman. But it's game over. But hey, this is Twilight Struggle, and that's why when you're Russia, you're battling and you're getting beat on several fronts. You never stop playing just because you never know. And that's Twilight Struggle, is that even when you're losing, you've never lost. I felt great about this game. We were in control of a whole lot of regions. We weren't blacked out anywhere. We had Asia. We were great in the Middle East the whole game. We were fine in Europe. We were awesome in South America. Central America was fine. Africa was always as it flips back and forth. So we were good sometimes. We were bad sometimes, but we were still good. So just one of those situations where we had Long Gunman, never had an opportunity to get rid of it. Never ever had a chance where, turn 1, he didn't, we didn't have an opportunity to really make a great action round 7 play to give us the coup opportunity to get rid of that card. And that's probably the biggest, you're looking at the game, how it went down, where we made a mistake. But at the end of the game, we win a roll, just 1 or 2, down the stretch on the space race, we win the game. If we don't make a mistake of not cooing with liberation theology to make sure we got our military ops, we're fine. We win the game. So interesting game, especially since it didn't, we're sitting there at 6 with war games in our hand. So, but hats off to St. Ronnie for realizing where he was, because I don't know if I don't play the one up. He spaces a card that gives one up. It's like, one victory point for 4 ops. Shoot, I'm playing 4 op cards all the time for that one victory point, but he's smart and doesn't. So, and he spaced, he had UN intervention a couple times to get rid of cards like the China card, which we hopefully could have held to help us out. We weren't able to do that as either. The turn before, he played UN intervention with the Nixon card. So we got unlucky on a few things, but we also got lucky in some other areas. So hats off to St. Ronnie. He did a great job, thought, in choosing where we fought. He definitely pressed some regions to keep me focused away from South America. Might have also lost us the game there. And then he did an awesome job of realizing that I had Long Gunman. He knew I had it. And he was also pretty sure because that we didn't get the reshuffle that, that was a pretty decent chance that he was going to be able to degrade my size. And hey, War Games was going to come out because there wasn't a reshuffle. So anyway, fantastic game. I hope you guys liked it. Throw your comments in. I know I made mistakes this game, but I also had some good plays too. I thought the early round was fun. Definitely atypical of the way you see a typical turn one. And then because of that and the change of pace of how the game developed, it definitely had a weirder pace than a lot of games we play. So anyway, drop your comments down below, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.